Hey there, sister friends. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood, and I'm so thrilled to be back with you, ready to kickstart this week with power, with positivity, and with purpose. Welcome to a brand new episode of Saved, Sanctified, and Successful. It's the podcast where we spill the tea on the beautiful mix of spirituality and success. And I'm your host, Sister Tesha, here to make sure that you get your week started on the right note. So grab a comfy seat, pour yourself a cup of tea or coffee if that's your thing, and let us chat about our journeys to becoming saved, sanctified, and successful. All right, sis. So today I want to dig deep into the topic, discovering your true self. Listen, life has its way of throwing curveballs, but it's during those challenging times that we really find the opportunity to grow, to evolve, and truly see the new and empowered version of ourselves. And in the book I've been sharing with you, titled Girls See the New You, I share my personal journey in my chapter called The Broken Christian. And it's a journey of rebuilding after life's earthquakes had left me feeling broken and lost. And through my struggles, I want to share with you 5 valuable lessons that I learned, okay? So the first lesson I want to talk about is embracing vulnerability and surrender. And here's a direct quote from my chapter. It says, "In the middle of the rubble, I realized that holding on to my pride was hindering my growth. And I had learned to embrace vulnerability and surrender my pain, fears, and addictions to God. And as I opened to Him and allowed Him to take the lead, I experienced true healing and deliverance." Remember, sister friends, it's okay to not have it all together. Surrendering to God allows Him to turn our ashes into beauty. Isn't that a wonderful quote? Sisters, in life we learn the power of vulnerability and surrender to God. Often we put on this facade of having it all together. But in reality, we could be struggling with deep-seated pain and unhealthy coping mechanisms. But embracing vulnerability means that we are acknowledging our weaknesses, and then we take them and we hand them over to God, trusting that He can transform our pain into His purpose. And during life's earthquakes, it's natural to put up walls because we want to try to protect ourselves. Protect ourselves from what? From future pain. But sister friends, it's important for us to understand that vulnerability is not a sign of weakness. It is a sign of strength. And when we open up ourselves to God and we surrender our pains, our fears, and our addictions, listen, we are allowing Him to work in us and through us. And we no longer need to carry that burden alone because God becomes our refuge and our strength. So surrendering to God means laying our brokenness at His feet and trusting Him with our deepest hurts. And as I embraced vulnerability and surrendered to God, I found healing and deliverance. Now, was it an overnight transformation? No. Am I still transforming? Of course. But with each step, God has revealed and continues to reveal His love and His grace, turning my ashes into beauty. And my brokenness became and is still becoming a testament to His power to mend and restore. My lesson number 2, the power of letting go. Listen, here's another quote. Sometimes we find ourselves holding on to habits and mindsets that no longer serve us. Just as I had to let go of my vices and negative thinking, you too have the power to release anything that's holding you back. Trust in God's plan for your life and allow Him to guide you towards a renewed mindset and purpose. Sisters, I also explored the importance of letting go of old habits and negative thought patterns and, other things that hinders growth, right? But what I found is that letting go is not easy. I recognize that, but it's important. It was important for my personal development, and it's important for yours. I learned that when we release the burdens that weigh us down, we make room for God's transformation to get to work in our lives. And in life, we often hold on to things that are no longer serving us, negative thought patterns, destructive habits, toxic relationships, and even we become attached to our comfort zone, which even that can cause more harm than good. But sis, I learned the hard way that holding on to the past prevents us from stepping into the fullness of God's plan for our lives. So while letting go can be intimidating and painful, it is so necessary. It is so necessary for our growth and for our lives' transformation. So I had to release the vices that once numbed my pain and the negative thinking that limited my potential and the unhealthy relationships that drained my emotional energy. And it was through that surrendering these things that, God paved the way for new beginnings. Lesson number 3. Rebuilding financial and emotional stability. Here's my next quote. Rebuilding after the storm can seem overwhelming, especially when it comes to finances. But remember, sister friends, God is our provider. And as I leaned on him and took steps towards financial discipline, I witnessed his grace in restoring my financial stability. Trust that God will supply all your needs according to his riches and glory. So in this, I want to talk about the lesson I learned was life storms. It's going to leave us feeling financially broken sometimes and emotionally drained, but God is our ultimate provider. And as we trust in his faithfulness, we practice financial discipline and seek emotional healing, we can experience restoration in every area of our lives. Listen, I talk a bit about earthquakes because the aftermath of life's earthquakes can leave us feeling financially and emotionally unstable. So I get it, sister friend. I get how overwhelming it can be to face foreclosure, to have your credit score drop, or the weight of emotional unrest. But I just want to remind you that God in all of that is still our provider, that God in all of that is still our healer. And as I leaned on him and went after financial discipline, I witnessed God's grace in restoring my financial stability. He opened doors for better opportunities, and I started making wiser financial decisions. And at the same time, God mended my emotional wounds, and he gave me the strength to overcome the trauma and the rejection, and still to overcome the trauma and the rejection that life causes. Remember, sister friends, God promises it includes supplying all of our needs according to his riches and glory. It's not just something we say. It's something he is and that he does. So trust him with your finances and your emotions, and he's going to guide you towards restoration and towards healing. Lesson number 4 is about rediscovering your identity in Christ. Here's my quote there. It's easy to lose sight of who we truly are in the middle of life's challenges and society pressures. Take time to reconnect with your identity in Christ. Allow his love and his grace to shape your self-worth and erase the negative narratives from your past. You are fearfully and wonderfully made. So what I learned and what I want to share is that society or culture may try to define us based on our past mistakes or our circumstances, but our true identity is found in our relationship with God. We are fearfully and wonderfully made, and his love defines our worth and our purpose. But our world, our culture often defines us by our past mistakes, our appearance, the cultural standards. And it's easy for us to lose sight of who we truly are. And so I struggled with feelings of inadequacy and unworthiness due to those past hurts and pressures. But sis, let me tell you that your true identity is not found in your past. It's not found in your mistakes. It's not found in what other people have to say about you. Your identity is rooted in Christ Jesus. You are fearfully and wonderfully made in God's image, and his love defines your worth. So embrace the truth of who you are in Christ and let go of the negative tapes, the negative narratives from your past. You are a beloved child of God. You are uniquely crafted for a purpose. I like to say you were made on purpose, for purpose, with purpose. Lesson number 5, and our last one I'm going to share with you today, is walking in newness and in purpose. Here's my next quote. Through God's transformational work in my life, I discovered a new passion to help others. And as you go through your journey of rediscovery, sister friends, remember that God may have a purpose for you to help others along their path as well. You are uniquely equipped to impact lives with your story and experiences. Sis, here I learned that as God transforms our lives, we start to discover our unique gifts and things that we are passionate about. And when we embrace our true selves, we're going to find the power to impact the lives of others and fulfill our God-given potential. And as I allow God to transform my life, I discovered a new passion. I discovered purpose to help others. And my experiences became a source of inspiration and encouragement for those who are going through similar situations. So sis, God can take your pain and turn it into a powerful testimony to impact the lives of those that are around you. And as you rediscover your true self and embrace your vulnerability, you're going to find that God has equipped you with unique gifts and unique talents to serve his kingdom. So don't be afraid to walk in your newfound purpose. Let your light shine. Be the light of hope to the people that are in your sphere of influence. So I want to encourage you today, sister friends. I want to encourage you to take leaps of faith. God's love and God's grace are so powerful. They are powerful enough to rebuild and to transform any situation. Embrace vulnerability and let go of what's holding you back and trust in God's plan for your life. The journey of discovering your true self may be filled with challenges. It might be, but it's also filled with growth. It's also filled with transformation. It's also filled with revealing of the new and empowered you. So embrace vulnerability, surrender to God, let go of what's holding you back, and rediscover your identity in Christ. Walk confidently in your God-given purpose, knowing that you are fearfully and wonderfully made. Now that's all I have for you today, my sisters. I want to thank you for joining me today. And if this message resonated with you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Also, be sure to grab a copy of Girls See the New You, and the link's going to be in the description. This is Sister Tesha signing off from Saved, Sanctified, and Successful. Remember this, it's my desire for you to be blessed, to be fruitful, and to multiply.